Okay, so Dana White just announced some pretty hyped up matchups for early 2025. We got the return of Israel Adesanya, the return of the dog bender, okay? Taking on Nasruddin Imavov. Okay, that's a pretty hype matchup. I mean, this one's been rumored for a couple months now, so this is not a surprise. But then we have probably the best one, a striker's dream, okay? Two strikers who do not know how to wrestle and are not going to shoot a takedown. MVP Michael Venom Page fighting Shara Magomedov. Dude, this fight's going to be fucking awesome, okay? I'm so hyped for that one. We also have a fight that's basically confirmed, but it's not. I don't want to act like it is. But we have Usman taking on Della Maddalena. Finally. Yo, why is Jack so inactive, okay? I like Jack, such an entertaining boxer, but fuck. I guess it's injuries, but he needs to fight more, man. I want to see him fight more. And Usman, this better be official. This better be, because Usman's inactive ass basically should just retire at this point. He's so inactive and so unsure of what he's going to do. I watch him and Cejudo's podcast, but they don't really seem like they know what either of them want to do. You know, they should really both just retire. The Unks, just stick to the podcast. We love you, Unk, but you're going to lose to basically any young up-and-comer you fight. You know, he could beat Jack with the grappling, because Jack's grappling's fucking terrible. You know, I don't think he'll ever be champion. He's not going to be Bilal. But yeah, let's talk about these matchups, starting with the Izzy versus Nasruddin Imavov. Okay, this is weird because I kind of just assumed Izzy was going to stay inactive for a while, but no, he seems to be active. He seems to be eager to get back in there. If he gets a title shot off of this one win, then I don't even know what to say anymore. The UFC is a joke. Make him go on a win streak, okay? No one wants to see him fight Dricus again. No one wants to see him fight Hamzat and get ragdolled if he's champion, okay? I don't want to see this shit. Maybe if Sean beats Dricus and Izzy beats Nasruddin, maybe we could see Sean versus Izzy too. That'd make sense, but dude, stop giving Izzy title shots so easily, okay? Make these guys go on win streaks. But I think Izzy's probably going to win. All right, I honestly, at first, when this matchup got rumored a few months ago, I was siding with Nasruddin because he'd be able to mix in the wrestling, which, if he wants to win this fight, that's probably how he wins it, because you know they're going to give Izzy the decision if it goes to decision. Basically, no matter what. He's going to run, he's going to leg kick at range, and jab him up with that long-ass reach, them long limbs. You know, I'm not an Izzy hater, okay, I swear. He just is boring, so I'm allowed to hate on his fight style. But we haven't really, like, I know Contender Izzy, he's a different monster. He got subbed by Dricus, the plot armor goofy goofster himself. So I guess he was out striking Dricus at times, but, you know, Izzy just doesn't really have power to knock people out, it seems, anymore. You know, it's weird how he just all of a sudden knocks out Alex out of nowhere. You know, that was a good knockout. It wasn't a fluke. I'm not saying it was a fluke, but he just doesn't really seem like he has finish potential on the feet anymore, and he doesn't really go for it, you know? We saw him fight Cannonier, and then we saw Nasruddin fight Cannonier recently. Even if it was a bad stoppage, dude, Nasruddin was beating the fuck out of Cannonier, okay? He was winning that fight. He was gonna win. So I could see Nasruddin winning this. If he just mix in the grappling, shoots a takedown per round, it's only 3 rounds. You know, if Izzy gets 2 rounds behind, because he's a little nervous to get going. Izzy's obviously a slow starter. We know that. I could see Nasruddin winning this and sending Izzy into retirement for real this time, like Dricus should have done. Izzy, you should just retire. You have nothing else to prove. You're basically the middleweight GOAT. A lot of people think you are. I don't. I think it's still Anderson. But Anderson isn't top 10 of all time. So I could see how you make that argument that Izzy is better. You know, he is better. He has a better resume, obviously. So yeah, I'm not really that excited for this fight, though. It's probably going to be boring, especially if Nasruddin is too scared to strike with Izzy. He's just going to shoot takedowns, and Izzy's grappling's, it's good. You know, his defensive grappling is good, but the truth is he hasn't really had to fight many wrestlers in the past few years. You know, he just hasn't really had to fight many people who are going to shoot takedowns on him, which Nasruddin will do if he's getting pieced up. He's well-rounded. He's good. And yeah, let's just move on because I'm not really excited for this matchup. I'm just not. You know, it's kind of depressing seeing Izzy try to get back to the title again. I don't want to see him just lose and go on a losing streak like every single champ does. This is not good. Okay, let's move on though. MVP versus Shara. Dude, this is so badass. This is a dream. I would have been fine with MVP versus Prates, just make MVP fight badass strikers, you know? Thank God they gave him this guy, because I was scared they were going to give him someone who's well-rounded and is going to shoot takedowns. No one wants to see that, all right? The Ian Gary fight was boring as fuck, but MVP was the only one doing anything good on the feet. Ian kind of just froze up in that fight. Yeah, I think MVP is going to lose, though. I do. I think he's just... MVP is really good, but, dude, it's a Magomedov, first of all. We have to remember that. These guys don't like to lose. They rarely lose, so... this guy is coming off... He's also coming off of one of the best performances of his career. Probably the best performance of his career. He feels unstoppable, probably. That crazy double back fist, double spinning back fist KO. Crazy, you know? And he's way bigger than MVP. He's way bulkier. He hits harder. He's way younger. MVP is like almost 40 at this point. So I could see this fight being very competitive in the first round or two. And then I think Nasruddin, just his power advantage and his toughness is just going to outdo MVP. And it's in Abu Dhabi, all right? If it goes to decision, they're giving this shit to Magomedov. You better remember that. That is definitely what's going to happen here. I could see a very close fight where they give it to Magomedov, you know, because MVP... He's a very good striker. He's so wild. He's so fast and explosive, and he's dangerous for anybody. But he doesn't really have that much power. You know, he's touching up Kevin Holland like no other. He's landing everything he throws. He's coming in with the pocket, doing it whatever he wants, having fun with him, and he can't finish him. So his power is clearly evident. It's not the best. You know, I don't really see him knocking out Shara, who's taken a lot of punishment in his fights. He doesn't really have that much experience. He's still new, still green in the UFC, but, you know, I could see him winning this. He's got plot armor. He's all the Dagestanis do. I don't even know if he's a Dagestani. I don't know. He same background, same area. You know what I mean, okay? I don't mean to be an insufferable fan just calling all the people who look like Dagestanis, but what do you want me to say? You know, I'm not going to go look up his origin, all right? But yeah, Shara's going to win this. It's in Abu Dhabi. He's definitely getting a decision if it goes to it. And MVP is old as fuck, you know. He's taking a lot of damage. Well, not really. He's kind of just fighting bums and piecing them up in Bellator. But I don't know. I just think his speed and his wildness will not be enough. Okay, I think Shara's not gonna. He's not gonna be scared to throw when MVP comes into the pocket, crazily jumping in and out. Shara's not gonna be afraid to throw. He's a very good chin, and he's fast as well. I think his inexperience is gonna lose him the first round or two, maybe, but. You know, even if he loses the first two rounds, they're still going to give the fight to him. It doesn't matter. Then moving on to the final matchup we've got announced, even though it wasn't announced. But this has to be the matchup. What else? Who else is Usman going to fight? If he doesn't fight in the next 3 months, then just retire, bro. Because, like, that's a year inactive, basically, plus, I think. I don't know. I'm not checking. But, yeah, I think Jack's going to win this. I do. I think Usman's knees are just too bad. You know, I don't think he's going to be able to successfully grapple against anyone, you know? I don't think so. He looks so good in that Hamzat fight, and he would have won a 5-round. He would have won a 5-rounder. He definitely would have. He would have won with cardio and experience, and he was outboxing Hamzat in that fight. That fight was basically a draw. If not, Usman should have won it, you know? So I think Jack's going to win. His grappling has to be better. I think he was dealing with an injury in the Gilbert Burns fight. That's why his grappling looks so fucking bad. You know, I think his grappling's bad overall, but he has the boxing to finish Usman. I genuinely could see him piecing the fuck out of Usman in the first 2 rounds, and then in the 3rd round, he gets a very late TKO. Because the longer Usman sits out, the worse he gets. This guy was an active champ. He was comfortable being active, and that was one of his strengths, similar to Volk, you know? But, I don't know. I want Usman to win. I'm going to be real. I want to see Usman win because he's on like a 3-loss streak. I kind of want him to just win one and retire so he can retire on a win. But if that's the thing, if he wins against a young contender, especially someone who's highly ranked like Jack, he's going to want to go for the title shot. You know, he's going to want to fight again and try to get a title shot, which he's going to lose. He'd lose to Bilal. Bilal would grapple fuck him so badly. You know, Usman's knees are just cooked. Not saying he couldn't. You know, maybe Jack's going to get injured again in the first round or something because this dude is injury prone as fuck, clearly. So, who knows, but I don't really know. I like the matchup, though. It's perfect. You know, it's in Sydney. I think it's going to be in Sydney, Australia. I don't know. I don't know what event it's going to be on. I don't know where it's going to be. I'm going to stop saying that shit like I know. But this has to be the fight. If it isn't, I don't know what Jack's going to do. He's going to have to fight down the rankings, fight like Protest or some shit. I don't know. He's going to have to do something very risky if he doesn't get this Usman fight, because he doesn't really have many other options, you know? And if he does beat Usman, he should get a title shot. You know, he's done enough at that point, beat a legend, especially if he finishes him. Who the fuck finishes Usman other than Leon Edwards, like the autistic man himself? Uh, maybe he'll fight Leon. I didn't even think about that. Maybe Leon will come back and fight him. I don't know. I don't know what Leon's planning on doing. I don't know, man. Leon is an anomaly because he's so good and so technical, but just so plotty and so unconfident on the feet. It's so weird. If he just actually did high output, body kicked, leg kicked, head kicked, just was spamming them, his grappling's very good too. Leon could get the belt back if he just believed in himself. I don't know. I liked Leon. Obviously, we all did after the head kick, but we all hate him now. It just can't help it. You're inactive, you're boring in the mic, and you're boring in your fights, dude. You're not going to be liked. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the matchups that were announced because these are pretty hype matchups, dude. The early 2025 is going to be hype. We have the first card, a double belt instantly. That's going to be so fucking hype. And then we have this, obviously, with the Usman versus Jack one should be on the undercard or of the Dreykus versus Sean rematch, which we wanted Hamzat in there, but I get it. You know, Hamzat just fought. He's very inactive. He's probably not ready to fight again, you know, so that's his fault, though. He should have been ready. If that's the reason, Dreykus is, you know, that you can't expect for the champion to wait for you. You know, Hamzat's probably, he's low-key never going to be a champion at this rate. This dude needs to hurry up, okay? Because he's going to get his sniffles again if he doesn't hurry up, okay? So, yeah, those are the matchups. I just want to talk about them, do some early predictions. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.